He's sent sprawling to the ground, and it's a free kick. Leeds did try to sign Kenny McLean in the last transfer window. I think they made what was considered quite a derisory bid officially, in the region of about £1 million, if you believe all the rumours. And Norwich said, well, no way we're having that. And I remember during the transfer window, David Wagner going out of his way in an interview we did with him, without even asking about Kenny McLean, saying, very keen to sound the record, he will not be going to Leeds United. In the Premier League, Nottingham Forest 1, Luton 0. Free kick taken by Norwich City, who lead 2-0. Here's Hernandez trying a trick against Gray, the right back. And he's got the better of him, I think, has he? No, eventually the ball goes out of play, but it's off Gray. It'll be a Norwich City throw in.
I don't mind him taking him on sort of down there one-on-one in that part of the pitch, because he's got him on a yellow card already, and he just takes one mistimed tackle, and that changes the viewpoint of the game as well.
Throw in for Norwich, and they're going to get another one because Hernandez couldn't quite collect the ball from Yanulis. He's going to get another throw in, this time to McLean on the left hand side. McLean hooks it into the penalty area. Stroik, the defender, clears, and it's going to bounce on the roof of the stand opposite us, the City stand, and the Dutchman gets out of play for another Norwich throw, which in the days of multi-ball, where there's already another spare ball ready, we don't lose any time. Here's Hernandez, back heel on the left-hand side. It's bounced back for Onel Hernandez. He's twisting and he's turning, and he's released Sarah on the left-hand side. His cross into the penalty area. Jonathan Rowe's trying to get on the end of it and almost does, but it's cleared. There's a clash of heads. Byram and Rowe. Really good teasing ball into the penalty area from Sarah, and Rowe scored a couple of headers this season, and he really believed he was going to get on the end of that, didn't he?
He literally launched from quite far out as well.
Yeah, but it's
I don't think they've clashed heads. I think as he's in the air,
it's all okay. Everyone's up, and it looked one of those where it was sort of looked slightly nasty for a minute or two, but it's okay. 2-0 Norwich lead. Goals in the first half from Duffy and Sarah. Sad news as well, that's reached us at Carrow Road this afternoon, of the death of Sir Bobby Charlton, the England football hero at the age of 86. Your memories coming up in Canary Call, I'm sure. Rutte finds Pirot for Leeds as they look to try and get themselves back into this one. Pirot, the Dutch striker, lays the ball off to Kamara. Now it's Somerville up towards the edge of the penalty area on his right foot. Somerville, closed down by Rowe, plays the ball back to Ethan Ampadu. A £7 million signing from Chelsea. That ball's hit the referee. And Leeds are frustrated because that has brought to an end the attack.
Needs to work on his first touch. I mean, that was poor.
Well, I don't know. It's the sort of midfield play breaking up the opposition that Norwich have been
under
lacking.
his feet. He didn't allow him to get his head up.
Referee John Busby getting involved in the game, but there'll be an uncontested drop ball now. This is going to be interesting. He'll just drop it at the feet of Glenn Kamara, who's only about 30 yards from the Norwich goal. He lays it off to Ampadu, and Ampadu is tackled by McLean, and the ball breaks for Adam Ida, who sets off over the halfway line to try to turn defence into attack. Ida's running sort of diagonally here. He ends up on the right edge of the Leeds penalty area. It's a really determined run from the Irishman. He's taken Norwich up the field here, and now he needs some help. Jonathan Rowe is providing that support. He finds him now, and ball's gone out of play, back off Rowe for a throw in. Did he do the right thing there, Ida? He drove the team forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I love him being positive like that. Just sort of ran out of legs a little bit at the end, and the crowd recognised it. I mean, that's the first time I've heard the crowd chant his name.
Yes,
so they're really impressed with the shift that he's been putting in, and he's going to be tiring. It's been a tricky game for him, but I think he's carried himself really, really well, and he's been positive every opportunity he's got. He hasn't been overly wasteful with the ball a couple of times, but that's about it. And he's contributed in a positive way too.
We've got a change here, Kuti. Onel Hernandez has been replaced. Tony Springett has come on.
Interesting.
You sound like you don't agree with that.
I just look at other options and potentially what else.
Well, Springett, after that vote of confidence, comes into play on the right.
No. It wasn't a disrespect to Springett. I'd have just liked to have seen somebody else.
Well, Springett's on the right-hand side. Rowe's gone over to the left. So it looks as if David Wagner quite thinks that Jonathan Rowe might get some joy on the left here. Perhaps running at Archie Gray. That's what he's seen. He's got Fastnacht on the bench. He's got Pajetta. So there are other wide options. But the nod has gone to Tony Springett.
I just think when legs have gone and stuff like that, sometimes speed can be quite important.
On the left-hand side, he crossed it into the penalty area, just can't quite pick out Adam Ida. The substitution nearly paid off immediately there, moving Rowe to the left.
Yeah, I'd have put the microphone down and left.
Well, you can only call it. You get the feeling sometimes, don't you, about whether it's a good decision or not. And Springett is on, and he's really been part of the first team this season, Tony Springett, player who is making his 17th appearance for Norwich today. Only 2 league starts amongst that, though. George Long's kick forward. Rowe, I think, will be offside if he tries to go for it, so he might as well let Gray take control of it, the right back, and then play it back to his goalkeeper Meslier, and Meslier nearly gets closed down there by Ida as he plays the ball from outside his 6-yard box eventually. and here's Somerville, tackled and harried by Stacey, and Somerville being forced to go back towards his own penalty area. Good pressure from Jack Stacey. Stroik then plays one forward. Springett gets his head to it, and Stacey keeps it in rather impressively, and then Sarah gets a foot to it, and Norwich almost bulldoze their way forward, but Leeds have cut it out. Rutte gets a touch and now gets it back on halfway, and it's 3 against 3 all of a sudden. Leeds on the attack. Rutte bearing down on the edge of the Norwich penalty area, plays it into the box now to James. Heavy touch, but he still manages to squeeze it into the near post, and it's gone in off Duffy. It'll go down as an own goal, but it's got Leeds back in the game. There's not too much that Duffy could do about that. James looked as if he might run the ball out, but he played the ball across. Long cut it out at the near post, and then it hit Duffy as he was chasing back towards his own goal. Leeds have a goal, and it is game on now. Norwich 2, Leeds United 1.
Yeah, just caught 3 on 3. I mean, Leeds moved the ball well. Some clever running in front of the guy on the ball. I thought he'd overkicked it. He's crossed it in. It's gone under long, and as Duffy's running in to sort of cover it, it's just pinged in off his shins and gone in. And yeah,
he couldn't do anything about that.
No, he couldn't at all.
Should Long have cut that out?
Yeah, you could argue that.
Well, Norwich have had their lead half. Now Duffy has scored at both ends in this game. He got Norwich's first goal, and he's just got Leeds' first goal by accident. I thought James had run that ball out of play, but he somehow managed to hook a foot around it and cut the ball back. Now Eulis keeps the ball in well on the left-hand side and goes down. Fouled by Ampadu. Free kick to Norwich City. And now that's just changed the mood, hasn't it?
When he gets injured, when he goes down, whether he's hurt or not, because he goes down so much. But yeah, it's going to bring Leeds into the game a lot more now. It's going to be
Ida heads the ball into the path of Jonathan Rowe. Rowe on the edge of the Leeds penalty area. Has Ida available on the left-hand side. Rowe, though, is going to keep it. Looking for someone to make a run. In the end, it's a back heel to Ida. Back to Rowe on the edge of the box, and Rowe goes down. Norwich want a foul. It's not being given. Leeds are breaking on them again here with James. Good tackle from McLean. Tees up now for Giannoulis to try and move the game forward. It's flowing end to end at the moment. Here's Ida. He's got Giannoulis outside him on the left-hand side. Ida is Norwich's centre forward, but he's out on the left wing at the moment. Well behind play, and Jonathan Rowe has almost gone up as the centre forward. And he's played it into the box, looking for Springett. Down goes Rowe, though. 20 yards out. He's gone down. It's a free kick to Norwich City, about 20 yards out. Was there a flash of lightning then? Was that
I didn't see that. No? I was just thinking that I'm a bit gutted as a free kick, because had he let that play, it could have quite easily been a penalty as well. But
yes, Springett went down the box.
But it's going to throw this game wide open now. You know, this is going to be a really, like you say, sort of end-to-end 25 minutes. Norwich can nick a goal here from this free kick and just settle things down again. That'd be great. But yeah, this is going to be a nail bite in 25 minutes for Norwich.
It always is at Carrow Road. Norwich 2, Leeds 1. Leeds back in it with that own goal from Shane Duffy. Not that it was his fault. It's the second game in a row that one of the Norwich centre-backs has scored an own goal. But now they've got a free kick at the other end of the pitch. What is it, 22 yards out, probably, to the left of the D. Rowe and Sarah standing over it. Both have been in good goal-scoring form this season. We've seen a marvellous goal already today from Gabriel Sarah. Has he got a free kick up his sleeve as well? Well, Jonathan Rowe looks like he fancies it with the right foot, but it is Sarah who whips the ball into the near post, and it's turned aside by the goalkeeper. It's a corner, but it was a comfortable save, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, comfortable save, comfortable height, accurate, not a huge amount of power behind it, but now a chance to kind of be productive with the corner.
2-1, Norwich lead. Kings Lynn have just got a goal down at South Shields in National North, 1-0 for South Shields. And then missed a penalty earlier on in that game. Free kick, or corner Norwich, taken by Sarah to Giannoulis, and now played in field to Jack Stacey, who's halfway inside the Leeds half, plays it into the penalty area, but it's a poor ball. And look at that, Duffy is now furious with Stacey for the quality of the pass. There's no shortage of passion out there for Norwich today, is there?
But they just need to keep their heads. They need to keep things together.
And Jonathan Rowe has done brilliant. He's won the ball back against Gray, and he's bearing down on the Leeds penalty area to the left-hand side, plays it across, deflection, and that one goes behind, and it's a corner to Norwich City. Rowe, I think, has benefited from the Kenny McLean, let's call it feedback, earlier in this half, because the work rate has improved since, hasn't it?
It has, and very direct there as well. I'm happy he took the shot. There were other options on. He could have squared it, but it's nice and positive, and you know, Leeds having to defend another corner. You know, Norwich keep the ball up this half.
Still a quarter of this game to go. Norwich 2, Leeds 1. It's absolutely fascinatingly poised. Corner which Sarah will take from the left-hand side into the penalty. It's not a bad delivery. Headed away by Ampadu. Somerville completes the clearance, and Eunulis has got to be careful here to get in ahead of James, or he'll be away, and he is, and the ball's gone into the stand for a throw into Leeds, who want to make a double change. Gnonto and Bamford. There aren't too many Championship sides that could bring on substitutes of this quality. Patrick Bamford, who's still working his way back to fitness, an England international, got 1 cap for England, and Wilfried Gnonto, the 19-year-old, the Swiss player who, or the Italian international, but signed from Swiss football, who really wanted to move away, didn't want to be playing in the Championship, but he's back from injury, and he's going to come on in a moment as well for Leeds. But the game continues. Norwich have it. A lazy ball forward there from Duffy, cut out by Leeds, and from it they could be away. McLean's been caught in the face in trying to make the challenge, but Leeds play on, and they've released James, who's already set up 1 goal. From the right-hand side, his cross cut out by Duffy, and it's fallen for Eunulis, and he should clear for Norwich City, and he does. McLean's still down for Norwich City, and now the referee stops the play.
It's crazy, isn't it? You either stop it straight away or you don't stop it at all. I mean, that idea
although
of waiting,
McLean is now up.
Yeah, wait for Norwich to get the ball and then I'll stop it.
Yeah, I think that's almost where players don't necessarily help themselves, because as soon as the referee stopped it, McLean jumped up. So Leicester are 2-1 up at Swansea. This Leeds double change is coming, and we're going to see both Gnonto and Bamford here. Daniel Farke is throwing on his 2 high-profile signings. Gnonto, actually, in his days with FC Zurich in Switzerland, scored a winning goal against David Wagner's young boys team, but actually still the substitutions aren't made. And we carry on. Here's Eunulis. Picks out Sarro. Lovely pass on halfway, and Sarro with an equally lovely ball has put it into the path of Jack Stacey. Plenty of room for him to run into, and he bursts into the penalty area. It's a shot from Stacey. Save the rebound. It's over the top. Bad miss, but it would have been offside anyway. Ida off balance, running in to tap the ball in an empty net. He missed it, but his blushes have been spared because the flag was up and it wouldn't have counted. Great run from Jack Stacey.
Yeah, lovely cut inside. Yeah, lovely cut inside. I thought going to stick his foot through it and would see one of those sort of flying to the upper Barkley, but he's taken the kind of side foot bend into the far corner, just bounced in front of the keeper, which you thought might make it awkward with him. So keeper wasn't able to claim it comfortably, parried it out into an oncoming Ida who was offside, and we'll say no more than that.
Right, here are the changes made by Daniel Farke, and it's certainly a bold move, because he's taken off one of his defensive midfield players in Glenn Kamara to bring on Patrick Bamford, who had a short loan spell with Norwich City back in 2016, and Sam Byram is being replaced by Wilfried Gnonto. So he's bringing on 2 attacking players, and he's taking off his left back and one of his defensive midfielders.
Okay, let's see how this goes.
We could have quite a game now, because Leeds are throwing everything at it here. So it looks as if Daniel James, the right winger, has gone to play as a left back or left wing back now, by the looks of it, the way he's lined up, but certainly on the left hand side. But you've now got Bamford up there, you've got Gnonto who's on, and it's going to be fascinating to see now just how much or how hard Norwich have to work to defend this 2-1 lead that they've got against Daniel Farke's Leeds United. But if Leeds do throw players forward, they might leave themselves vulnerable at the back, and Norwich have created chances in this game. It's been a real thriller. 2-1 Norwich lead. Rowe to Eunulis. Eunulis working hard, but can't get the ball away through a couple of challenges. Gibson does well initially on Ruter, and then wins the second ball as well, but it is eventually picked up by Leeds. And they've got it to Gnonto on the right-hand side. Gnonto challenged well by McLean, but still the ball stays in play. And it's Ruter for Leeds, who's dropped deep, and he drags the ball past Sarah effortlessly, and he's up towards the edge of the penalty area. Plays it in towards Perrault. Goalkeeper Long is off his line, and he's going to get there first, though. 20 minutes to go. Norwich 2, Leeds 1. Daniel Farke throwing everything at trying to avoid defeat on his return to Carrow Road. Yeah,
this is going to be eventful. It's going to be really painful to watch if you're a Norwich fan. I really hope they can hold out. I really hope they can nick a third goal and just sort of see this game off. For what that does to us moving forward, it would be a shame for 2 games running to be in a leading position and then concede and not take all 3 points. Still a long way to go in this game.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see what David Wagner does substitute-wise as well, whether he reacts to those Leeds changes or whether he's quite happy with the way things as they are. Here's Ida holding onto the ball well on halfway, and then into the path of Rowe, who bursts forward on the left wing. Jonathan Rowe goes down, no foul. Leeds have cleared it as far as Sarah, who's 25 yards out, is going to hit one. It's charged down, and again, as soon as the shot is ricocheted, Leeds are looking to break forward, but it's a poor pass to Bamford, and Springett has recovered the situation for Norwich City. And listen to the crowd, they are well and truly involved in this game.
It is going to be end to end. It's just going to be like 2 boxers slugging it out on their last legs, just backwards and forwards.
That ball didn't go out for a throw-in. Most people thought it had. Jonathan Rowe is still jogging back into an onside position. He looks out on his feet. if you're talking about boxing, he looks like he's struggling now, Rowe, doesn't he? David Wagner is animated. He's on the side of the pitch, urging his team to stick at it. 2-1 they lead. 18 minutes to go plus stoppage time. It's Struijk on halfway for Leeds. Wide to James, who's now on the left-hand side. He's got space. Springett trying to close him down. James causing problems for Norwich City. Getting it onto his right foot. He's got Somerville available outside him. Here he is. Somerville gives it back to Daniel James. And on the right foot, the cross from James, charged down by Sarah, who's working so hard for the Norwich cause today. And that's headed out of play. That's a Norwich throw. They've done well just to stick at it there defensively. Yeah. 2-1 they lead.
Just get the ball back now, settle things down, get everyone back in their positions, and then just keep hold of the ball.
Leicester 2-1 up at Swansea now, having been a goal down. Leicester the league leaders. The only team to win at Carrow Road this season in terms of visiting sides. Decent home record that Norwich have got. If they could beat Leeds, that really would be an impressive one. Another former Premier League team, but they're far from home and hosed yet. 2-1 up. Duffy goes long. Floodlights really starting to take effect now. McLean plays the ball towards the halfway. That's a poor pass. Struijk intercepts, but McLean works hard to win it back, but can't quite. And it's fallen for Gnonto, the lead substitute, who drives forward. Deep inside Norwich territory here, Gnonto. Lays the ball off to Pirot. Pirot in the D on the edge of the box. To Somerville now. So many players back for Norwich, but they've got Pirot in here, have Leeds. Good chance here for Bamford if he can turn. Oh, he's been blocked by Sarah, and Norwich have hacked it away, but it's a little desperate. Leeds are coming again with Gray. And now in front of him is Rutte. Challenge made by Gibbs. It's a decent challenge. Norwich have won it back on the edge of their own penalty area. Played towards Springett, but Springett doesn't keep it. And it's picked up by James now, who drives towards the penalty area. Somerville in the box for Leeds United, who are really pushing for an equaliser now. Back out it goes to Ampadu in the D. Shoots low! Just wide. Got a deflection. Corner given. Norwich surely cannot spend the next 16 minutes doing this.
No, it's going to be really tricky for them if they do. They just couldn't get out. Every time they won the ball back, straight back to Leeds. So, you know, they're going to have to really dig in, roll their sleeves up, and deal with this. And then when they get the ball, just be clever with it.
I think Forshaw's going to come on for Norwich in a moment to try and shore things up a little bit. There might be another change as well being readied.
Yeah, I just think Johnny Rowe looks out on his legs now, and it's a difficult one because
Leeds corner played in from the left-hand side. It's headed away, but thrown as far as Gnonto, and now Somerville on the edge of the box. So many players back, decides against the shot. It's gone for Gnonto now, the 19-year-old who comes driving forward, and brilliant interception there from Ida. Played it off Gnonto and behind for a goal kick. 3 changes about to be made by David Wagner. I think he realises that the players out there, to use a Paul Lampardism, need a bit of a help. They need a hand, don't they?
Yeah. Just going back to what he said before the kick-off though about substitutions and impact of stuff. It's not been very often where Norwich have made substitutions from a winning position.
That is true.
Like this, and
in recent weeks certainly. Well, they had the 3 subs ready, but they've actually taken the goal kick. Norwich. I can tell you that Fastnacht is going to come on, and so is Hwang. Here's Stacey on the right-hand side. Stacey back to Duffy, and now Duffy goes back to George Long in goal. Long gets the ball onto his left foot and swings it up the field there through the middle. Easy header at the back though for Rodon. And now Somerville back to Struijk for Leeds United, who've got all sorts of attacking options out there on the pitch. Pirot, one of them, who's dropped deep to get involved in the game and has released Gnonto on this right-hand side. The Italian international Gnonto cuts in. He's got a line of yellow shirts in front of him, but Pirot now takes over and strokes it to James on this left corner of the penalty area. Daniel James onto his right foot, drives it in low, and Long gets down well. Changes direction to turn it aside for a Leeds corner, but Leeds are piling the pressure on now. 15 to go. Norwich lead 2-1.
Just cuts inside. He's definitely sneaking in that near post, and you know what he's done so far. He's done well. The goalkeeper since he's come on, that's probably been his biggest test. Sort of wrong-footed a little bit and then having to change direction and get down low.
Corner taken short by Leeds. Gnonto now, left corner of the penalty area. There's room for Somerville on the edge of the box. Norwich slow to close him down, and he's hit a brilliant curling shot in off the post. And Leeds have come back from 2 goals down. We've seen a few Daniel Farke comebacks at Carrow Road over the years, and this is another one of them. Leeds were 2-0 down, but Somerville curls in brilliantly from just outside the penalty area, and it is Norwich City 2, Leeds United 2 with 13 minutes to go.
Yeah, I mean, he took the goal well in off the post. Full stretch, the goalkeeper couldn't get anything on it at all. When I saw it hit the post, I was hoping it'd come back across the face of the goal and stay out, but it just sort of crept in across the line. my worry now is that Leeds look like they're only just getting going, and Norwich are on their last legs. So these changes that the manager is going to make anyway.
Well, could they have made the changes earlier? I suppose that's one question, isn't it? They were ready earlier. Forshaw replaces Gibbs. Forshaw, a former Leeds player, of course, and just left them. 91 appearances for Leeds. He is going to go on. I think Jonathan Rowe coming off is the right decision, because as you've said, Cootie, he's looked exhausted for the last few moments. Christian Fastnacht replaces him, and the other change is Hwang coming on. So you would expect as a striker it might be Ida coming off. We're just waiting for the fourth official to confirm that. And yeah, there it is, Ida replaced by Hwang. So again, how do you feel about this one from a Norwich point of view? There's been a lot to admire, but they've been pegged back again, and it's 2-2 with 13 minutes to go.
Yeah, just not being clever enough to sort of get the ball out of those dangerous positions, and the way that we've sort of allowed Leeds in. Yes, they're a good side and they've got good quality, and they're going to create chances of their own, but I just think sometimes with the balls that we play and the positions we put ourselves in, we contribute to that.
Adam Forshaw now playing the ball up to Hwang, the Korean, goes down, wins a free kick off Joe Road on net. Hwang, he did play against Wales earlier on in the season. Not sure whether he was on the pitch at St Thomas Road on in that game, but he's got a free kick off him there. And we've got 12 minutes to go. Norwich 2, Leeds 2. What a game this has been, though, isn't it?
It has, yeah. And the question is, what have Norwich got left now? What have they got left in terms of creating something to win this game? What have they got left in terms of being able to keep Leeds out? Because they'll fancy them. Leeds are not going to settle for a draw here.
Leeds fans down below us, just to the right hand side, in terrific voices you'd expect. Sarah clips a free kick into the penalty area. It might fall around the back there for McLean. It nearly did, and I think he feels it should have done, but he perhaps just took his eye off it or didn't expect it to reach him, and behind it goes. But the goal scorer there, Crescencio Somerville, he got the winner at Anfield last year. Leeds didn't have a great season in the Premier League, but they did win at Liverpool, and he got the winner. So it's just to show what Norwich have been up against.
Yeah. And I mean, it was a special goal. I mean, he took it really, really well. But again, can we kind of eliminate him finding himself in that position? Because it took an age for a Norwich player to come out and close him down. He was able to kind of take a touch, almost look up and line his shot up before anyone got near him, and he was able to bend it in that far corner, and the keeper full stretch couldn't keep it out.
It is 2-2 on BBC Radio Norfolk. Quite some game, though, as Leeds push to try and take the lead for the first time. And Bamford's been teed up here by Ruter, up to the edge of the penalty area. Gives it back to Ruter. He tries a twist and a turn. Somehow it's found its way through to Bamford, who pokes the shot at goal, and there's no power in it. And Long makes the save. But again, it's just coming through that Norwich midfield a little too easily. That felt really easily. It didn't look any threat at one point, and then all of a sudden, a couple of passes, and you think, they're going to get a shot away here from the penalty spot. And fortunately, Bamford was limited to just a toe end that the keeper was able to come out and pick up comfortably. McLean gives it to Gabriel Sarah, who sets off over the halfway line. Fastnacht on as a substitute. Swiss international has got Stacey available outside him. Tees him up now. Stacey crosses. It's turned behind by Struijk for a corner. Stacey and Fastnacht in the opening weeks of the season were striking up quite a good understanding, but Fastnacht's form went off the boil a little bit, and he's not been starting games recently, but he has won a corner for his team here. Yeah,
an opportunity to sort of come on and put that right and get himself back in the manager's eye. Chance for Duffy to get himself back in credits with goals.
Yeah, one at each end in this game for Duffy. 2-2, 10 minutes to go. Norwich corner. Sarah's going to take it with his left foot from the right-hand side in front of the Barclay as Norwich strive to go back in front. Sarah's corner, right under the crossbar, and the keeper's clawed it away, and it's just about made it outside the box. Stacey with a heavy ball back to Yanulis, and Yanulis under a bit of pressure has had to go all the way back to Long. And the pressure now taken off Leeds United.
Everyone's offside.
Long plays it long. And Sarah will jump, and he's flagged immediately offside. I thought he might be one of those that wasn't offside. He had to go for it, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Flags up. There's about 7 of them. I think the Leeds line had gotten up so quickly, as they have all game. I mean, that seems to be a kind of a thing of theirs. As the ball gets forward, they get up to the halfway line as quick as they can. And
there's James on the left-hand side. So left wing-back he's playing now for Leeds. So attacking, because they were chasing the game for so long. Daniel Farker has thrown attacking options out there, and it's worked. It's got them back to 2-2. That's the only way they can play now, really, Leeds, because of the players they've got on the pitch. Ruter started the game as centre forward, but increasingly he's dropping deep. He's just knocked himself off balance there, the young French player, and Norwich have won it back. Then they've given it back to Ruter. Fastnacht and Sarah getting themselves in a knot, and here comes Somerville. Gets past McLean. Forshaw against his former teammate, can't get the foot in, and it's gone to Gnonto. Into the penalty area he goes, shoots from the angle, and it's turned aside by the goalkeeper. Long, down by his near post, had to do something about that, and it's a Leeds corner. Yeah. Every time either side goes forward, we get a shot at goal, don't we?
Yeah, we do. I feel like every time Leeds go forward, it looks like they're going to score, and I don't feel that same with us, even though we're getting the ball. Like we've said in many games, it doesn't ever feel like we've completely got it under control. Everything's just seemed to be running away from us. But Leeds moving the ball well, creating good chances, and with 10 minutes left, I mean,
been a good game, 2-2.
To call this one.
Here's the Leeds corner, played in from the right-hand side dangerously. McLean gets his head to it. Somerville just scored from this sort of position. Lays the ball off to Strike. Back it comes now to Gray, who's a long way out. Gnonto alongside him. Everyone back for Norwich, though. Leeds are going to get another chance to cross from the right. Goalkeeper hasn't cut it out. He hasn't dealt with it. Stacey clears it away, and it will be a throw-in to Leeds.
Leeds is
they can't get out here, Norwich.
Player back, other than the goalie, is midway in the Norwich half. They've got nobody on the halfway line. They've literally got everybody in the Norwich final third.
That's because Norwich have brought everyone back, haven't they, to defend initially the corner and now this throw-in. And it is knocked back to the halfway line by Leeds. Here's Joe Rodon to Strike, the other centre-back. Plays it forward. Somerville shows for it. Ampadu plays it back to Strike, and Leeds have now, well, they've got possession, but they have had to retreat into their own half momentarily. They're not settling for a point here, Leeds. They, having been 2-0 down, and now got back to 2-2, are pushing for it. Gibson strides in, makes a good challenge. Spring it. Nice ball out to the left-hand side, but I think that's going to have too much on it. Hwang can't get there. Throw into Leeds.
Yeah, right idea, just poor execution, and it looked almost like it had come off and Norwich were going to build on something in the Leeds third. But
well, Daniel James is coming off. He's had a big impact on this game. His cross turned into his own net by Duffy to get Leeds back into it. Jaden Anthony comes on, the player they've got on loan from Bournemouth. Scored a penalty here last season for Bournemouth in the penalty shootout win they had in the League Cup against Norwich City, and he will now go in direct competition with Jack Stacey, his former Bournemouth teammate. Forshaw plays the ball forward. Rodon cuts it out. Spring it does well to keep it in Leeds territory, but it will be a Leeds throw-in. 7 minutes to go. Norwich City 2, Leeds United 2. Leeds have hit back from 2-0 down in this second half. Gibson stoops to get his head to the ball on halfway. Headed on then by McLean, and again by McLean. He's gone down, that's a foul. They're shoving the back there from Gnonto, and it's a free kick to Norwich City, and McLean's crumpled in a heap, and Norwich have a free kick. But again, we made this point before the game, and I know Leeds are a bit of an extreme example because they're a former Premier League team who can bring on Gnonto, and they can bring on Bamford, and there are all sorts of options there for Daniel Farke. But again, it doesn't feel like Norwich's substitutions have that same effect, does it? No.
It's a different scenario as well. Coming on where your team's in a winning position and holding out is different for coming on and having to try and sort of make something happen. And
Sarah played the ball into the penalty. It was dealt with by Leeds, and they're on the counter-attack from a Norwich free kick. Somerville's so quick. He's already up towards the edge of the Norwich City penalty area on the counter-attack. Somerville's shot! 3-2 Leeds! He's got his second! And Daniel Farke and his assistants are nearly all off the bench to celebrate. Somerville goes sliding on his knees in front of them because Leeds United were 2-0 down here with 60 minutes gone, and now with 85 minutes on the clock they lead 3-2, and that came from an attacking free kick for Norwich City. Swift counter-attack, and now Leeds are in front.
Yeah, I mean, we could see it coming, couldn't we? And I don't know how he's found himself. I mean, he's on the left-hand side with nobody behind marking him. He's free to turn and run at McLean, and I mean, the finish is excellent. Again, side foot bent into that far corner, this time a little bit lower, keeper left rooted on his feet. I guess that is the frustration is where it came from. Norwich being in possession and then giving it up easily, and then when Leeds get the ball back, they get it in such an easy position to make something happen. Leeds have had it quite comfortable in terms of going forward. We've allowed them to be in dangerous positions, whereas Norwich have had to really work for their opportunities. And
now Forshaw's just passed a simple ball out for a throw-in, and you can hear how frustrated Carrow Road is.
Yeah,
an hour gone here, they were 2-0 up, Norwich, and they were. We never thought they were home and hosed. We never thought this was 3 points in the bag for Norwich. We knew they were going to have to work for it, but it's just, I suppose it's just how easy Leeds have found it to attack since that point, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've got the ball has not been stopped from getting towards the Norwich penalty area enough.
Yeah, and like you said at the beginning of the game when you were talking about wins and losses, that idea that 15 minutes ago we're the best Norwich team ever, and that we're going to get promoted this season, and that we're great, and now, you know, 3-2 down with the worst Norwich team in 60 years. That kind of fan reaction that we got, and that sort of almost booing when we give the ball away.
It's just the frustration, isn't it? Because they've got themselves, and they've played well and worked so hard to get themselves into a winning position here, Norwich, but it's all gone wrong. 3-2 down with 3 minutes to go. I mean, the quality on the two... Oh, Mellier's just been booked for taking a long time over a free kick inside his own half. But, I mean, again, Norwich haven't been able to have the impact from the bench that Leeds have. And the referee is now trying to sort out a bit of a problem out in there with some pushing and shoving. Ruter, you can see the Norwich team are frustrated here, aren't they, about perhaps what they perceive to be the time-wasting tactics of Leeds.
And the referee will always add it on at the end.
Yeah, but in the second half, it's Leeds who've looked by far the more dangerous team. 2 lovely goals from Somerville, you've got to say, really well taken, but it's the ease with which he's got himself into those positions which will be one of the reasons why David Wagner's prowling the technical area there with his arms folded. His team got themselves into such a good position here. They've not been able to see it out, and they trail by 3-2. Somerville on a hat-trick now with a clever little flick on, and Stacey launches the ball off the underside of the roof of the south stand that we're in. 2 minutes to go, and what could have been a really memorable afternoon, one to kickstart Norwich City's season, has ended up just sort of confirming all our fears really about what this Norwich City team is made of and how deep the squad is really. They've lost Angus Gunn to injury as well.
Mum's just messaged, both teams have scored.
They certainly have.
Yeah, I haven't replied.
They certainly have. Long kick from Mellier, looking for Bamford, who was not in an offside position. Nonchalant back heel from him. Collected by McLean. He gives it to Jack Stacey. Stacey plays it to Duffy in his own penalty area. Duffy, who scored at both ends in this game, plays it back to the goalkeeper Long, whose league debut for Norwich City has been a dramatic one, and Norwich have just about got it up to Hwang here. Hwang finds Springett on the left-hand side. Springett gets tackled. Norwich get a throw in.
And just thinking back over the second half, you know, I guess my viewpoint's a bit different now. I feel deflated that we felt fallen behind, but I can't remember many times where actually we have been in Leeds' half or penalty box. I know
Cross comes in from the left for Norwich. Rodon cuts it out. Yeah, but I think that's because until the 63-minute mark, Norwich were 2-0 up. So the impetus wasn't really about going for it, was it? It was about trying to manage the game properly. But now they haven't been able to do that, and they've got to change again, and they've got to come out. But it's Leeds who are doing all the attacking and leading 3-2, and it's just that extra quality as shown in the end, hasn't it, for Leeds United and for Daniel Farke, from 2-0 down to 3-2 up in the blink of an eye. It's been you might say, a typical sort of Daniel Farke performance, hasn't it? We saw this sort of thing a few times when he was Norwich City head coach. Fasnacht beaten to it there by Ruter, who comes forward on the left-hand side. Fasnacht then makes a challenge back, and the foul's given, and it's a free kick to Leeds. Too easy. The balance of this team, there's got to be a question, hasn't it? Because as much as we've seen Sarah do some brilliant things and score a great goal, and we've seen Norwich attack well at times, this is Leeds United, and yes, they're a quality side, but this isn't the first time I've seen Norwich City look really, really open in matches this season, and that's the concern.
I'm a big Sarah fan. I'm a fan of McLean, Duffy, Stacey, Rowe. For me, the jury's still out on the rest of them.
I think I've just seen 8 minutes of time added on signal, so don't go anywhere yet, everybody. When Daniel Farke's in town, it's usually dramatic. 3-2, Leeds lead. Here's Bamford, the Leeds substitute. Plays the ball back towards the halfway line now, and Struijk. And now it's Jaden Anthony, the substitute, on loan from Bournemouth. Leeds deciding that attack is the best form of defence. Anthony's dribbled his way into Norwich penalty area. Good block tackle from Fasnacht. Comes back now to Somerville. Back heel to Jaden Anthony. Anthony takes on Fasnacht, thinks about the cross, decides against it. Thinks about the cross again, gives it to Somerville on the left-hand side. Somerville exchanges passes with Jaden Anthony once again. It comes to Struijk on the left-hand side. Forshaw cuts it out well. Norwich have it back. Sarah plays the ball into the channel on the left-hand side. Forshaw knows he's not going to get there, so doesn't really chase it. And the ball goes back to the goalkeeper, Mellier, for Leeds. Norwich struggling. They need an equaliser, but to get that they need the ball, and they're struggling at the moment to have any sort of control, aren't they?
Yeah, and Leeds, when they get it, just keeping hold of it. They're not in a rush to do anything. A little bit like Norwich should have done, just sort of take the sting out of the game when they were 2-0 up. But just good.
Forshaw from a Leeds player. Picks out Sarah on the attack for Norwich City. Sarah's gone direct towards the penalty area here, and it's cut out. McLean keeps the pressure on. Fastnack turns on the edge of the penalty area, plays it out towards the left-hand side, but it's gone between Springett and Yanulis and out for a throw-in.
Yeah, just lacking that final bit of quality, and in the end giving the ball back to Leeds via a throw-in. And yeah, just all the hallmarks now of a really frustrating what could have been afternoon for Norwich, and a chance to leapfrog Leeds and go above them when we were 2-0 up, and to find herself taking nothing from the game is going to be a hard one to take.
Forshaw goes in with a challenge, Leeds throw in. That ball from Fastnack there, you could see he was expecting that Yanulis all afternoon has been flying forward, but I think his legs have gone a bit, haven't they?
Yeah,
and he wasn't where Yanulis wasn't where Fastnack thought he would be. And it looked like and it was a really poor pass because of that. Played straight out for a throw in. Norwich trying to wrestle back some sort of control of this game, but Leeds at the moment have the quality and they have the lead, and they've got Bamford in possession now, tackled by Forshaw, and yet Leeds are managing this game well. They'll settle for a throw in inside the Norwich half. Still got 6 minutes of time added on, but Norwich can't get much of a kick.
No. More frustrating than the Coventry game?
Yeah, I would say so, because in different ways, because Norwich were 2-0 up, weren't they, in this one, and they're going to lose it, whereas Coventry away from home, they were 1-0 up and they came
away with a draw.
Yeah. I think when you're 2-0 up at home, whatever the quality of the opposition, it's always really frustrating if you don't end up winning it, never mind losing it. As the ball breaks for Bamford for Leeds on the edge of the penalty area, his low shot straight at the goalkeeper Long, who will now with some eagerness roll the ball out to Jack Stacey. Has he got much left in the tank to get Norwich forward? Norwich looking at a 5th defeat in their last 7 matches here. Here's McLean. Yanulis is available on the left-hand side. Oh, good tackle from Nonto. Really good challenge there. Not making it easy at all for Yanulis, but eventually Yanulis does manage to bulldoze the ball back for Norwich on the left-hand side. It's gone infield to McLean, on now to Forshaw. Forshaw holds off a couple of challenges, then he's tripped. Norwich free kick just over the halfway line. And maybe it needs something like this to come off for Norwich City. A set piece to drop. It's not a shooting position or anything like that. It's only just inside the Leeds half, and in fact they will take it short, and Gibson will eventually knock it to the left-hand side, and Yanulis back to the feet of Gibson. Here's Forshaw. We'd love to get one, I'm sure, here against his former club. Didn't manage to score in 91 games for Leeds, so it might not be our best bet for a goal. Here's Fastnack on the right-hand side for Norwich. Stacey in front of him. Oh, flag's gone up. That's so frustrating. He shouldn't be offside there. He's looking right along the line.
He is, yeah. I think what's happened is he's made the initial run and expected it to come, and it hasn't, and so he's had to sort of check his run, and then it's came, and he's still in an offside position. So he was looking for the earlier pass. Just a bit of misunderstanding, miscommunication, and again,
double change for Leeds. They're looking to see this game out now, and they're taking off Perot and Somerville, who's got 2 of the goals, and they are bringing on 2 defenders, well, certainly 1 defender in Ayling, and the other substitute who's coming on. Just will confirm that for you in a moment, as Somerville just jogs gently off towards the far side. 2 really lovely finishes from the Dutch winger Grancio. Somerville, really well taken. I think it might be Liam Cooper who's come on, who's another defender. So they've brought on 2 defenders here just to see this game out, and really not much hope for Norwich City, you would think, because 95 minutes have been played. It's Norwich 2, Leeds 3. And the extra quality in the end has told for Leeds, particularly off the bench, you would say. Forshaw plays it long. It comes back to Forshaw, still inside his own half. Couldn't play the ball up to Hwang, who was offside, you're quite right, but Yanulis will instead dribble it forward for Norwich City on the left-hand side. Low to Sarah, 25 yards out, Gabriel Sarah. Oh, and he's lost possession. Norwich not able to make much of an impact now in search of an equaliser. Nonto has it for Leeds. They know they're almost there. 8 minutes of stoppage time, wasn't it? So we've still got 2.5 to go, but we've not seen Norwich sort of laying, when Leeds were behind, they were laying siege, weren't they, to the Norwich goal, but it's not been like that since Leeds have been in front. Here's Ayling finding Bamford. Good tackle, Gibson, against his former Middlesbrough teammate, and he's got a throw in there for them as well, Norwich City, which has been taken already. Back to Yanulis. Yanulis to Gibson. Gibson to Duffy. 2 minutes to go of the stoppage time. Can Norwich find a late leveller against Daniel Farke's Leeds United, or is Daniel Farke going to celebrate a winning return to Norfolk? Leeds fans in good voice down below us. McLean striving to try and make something happen for Norwich City. Springett plays it back to the halfway line, and Forshaw. Yanulis lays it out to the left wing. Springett is there for Norwich City, the substitute. taking on Rodon, getting away momentarily from Rodon, and he's brought down, and it's a free kick for Norwich City, and we might be in this is it territory now.
Yeah.
Now or never. Free kick. Level with the penalty area on the left-hand side. Norwich started this game scoring from a set piece. He is going up as well. The goalkeeper, George Long's going up.
Yeah. I mean, there's still 1:10 left. We get a goal here, we could still win this.
George Long, the goalkeeper, is going up. Not for a corner, for a free kick. Level with the penalty area. That's how desperate it is, but it's got everybody wondering whether we are going to get a dramatic late twist at Carrow Road. Long's in the penalty area. Sarah's going to take the free kick. Plays it into the Leeds box. Headed away to Forshaw, who shoots from the edge of the penalty area and drags it well wide. And that never really looked like anything was going to come from that for Norwich City.
That was so
frustrating,
isn't it? I
thought
it took a deflection. But,
so frustrating for these Norwich fans who
really is.
Canary Call after the game.
But again, I think the reason why we knew Leeds would come back in the second half, because even in the 2-0 up in the first half, it didn't feel like a convincing 2-0. Yes, we took our goals well, but they still felt like there was still... It just wasn't the complete half in terms of performance, was it? I think Leeds still felt like they had a bit of a threat to them, and we still felt like we had a bit of those old kind of giving the ball away cheaply habits in us. And
they had plenty of attacks, didn't they? I think that was what was always the worry.
Yeah.
And then Nunes miscontrols the ball and it runs away for a Leeds throw, and they are just about there now. We've had the 98 minutes, and this is so frustrating because Norwich were 2-0 up here with a half an hour to play, and Daniel Farke has staged one of his late comebacks that we saw quite often at Carrow Road from a Norwich City point of view, but it's gone against the Canaries today. Norwich 2, Leeds 3 on BBC Radio Norfolk. And Canary Call after the game. The Bobby Charlton tributes. We've had that sad news during the afternoon as well, but I think a lot of Norwich fans will certainly want to have their say on what they've learned about Norwich from this one today. Well, that's what they think immediately, because the final whistle has gone. Daniel Farke does get a win on his Carrow Road return, and it looked for so long like he wasn't going to, because it was 2-0 at half-time to Norwich. Shane Duffy heading in his first goal for the club from Gabriel Sarah's corner, and then Sarah with a goal that certainly doesn't deserve to have lost the game.